All right, Guitar Friends, episode 19. We're close to 20, but this is episode 19. Maybe change the logo, please. Guitar enemies, depending on how this conversation goes.
Here we go.
Because let's just get this out of the way. Some of us are from California, and it may not be God's country, but it has the very best restaurants called In-N-Out Burger, and I may get it one time this year.
It does not,
and it was very special to me. And Brian is not.
We're having some issues with Brian.
Brian, go ahead.
Can
Go
I
ahead.
tell you-
Just lay it on us, Brian,
You
so
guys,
we can just hear
you guys
it.
are like, I'm from California. You know where I'm from? Oklahoma. Do you know what comes from Oklahoma? Beef. We grow cattle there, and we slaughter them, and then eat the delicious beef. And I think In-N-Out Burger has the worst. In-N-Out's the worst fast food burger.
There's no way that's true.
It is the worst.
We just lost subs.
Every other burger.
Like actively, they're still
Right now, they're
unsubscribing right
unsubscribing.
now.
Every other
Repeatedly.
burger, fast food burger, is better.
Every
single one.
You can't trust a man who thinks McDonald's is the best. I'm sorry.
It's not the
You
best.
Can't trust the man who says
McDonald's
that.
is not the best.
I don't trust somebody who,
But it's better than
or somebody
In-N-Out.
who has more cream in his coffee than coffee. I can't. We're just qualifying things here.
It's
Fighting
really
words.
true, though. It's really true.
In-N-Out's the worst burger.
No.
Every other McDonald's is better.
No,
Wendy's is
no,
better.
no.
Burger King is better.
This-
Five Guys
I feel
is
like
the best.
we're so far away from the truth.
I
here.
don't know how to approach this. It's
Paints their grill marks on. Burger King paints them on.
I don't.
They're not
Whatever
real.
they paint with tastes better than whatever In-N-Out's cooking with.
No
I
one.
don't.
Did somebody put you up to this?
No.
What is
What
this?
Are we being punked?
Yeah,
Yes,
like what
this
is
is
the
a-
reason for this?
This is an episode of Punked. Ashton Kutcher's going to jump out.
I
any minute.
legitimately believe that it's the worst burger.
You had
It's-
a double just now, and you're saying that's the worst burger
We didn't
you've.
have it.
What'd you have?
Haven't had that yet.
No, we had it. We had it. What are you talking? Listen, you had it. We had a double. We went to In-N-Out. This is
Okay.
your second In-N-Out trip on this trip, and
Okay, so prior to this trip, I did truly believe In-N-Out is the worst fast food burger because I've been there a handful of times. I didn't grow up in California.
he's walking it back already.
My mom grew up in California.
Okay.
So I've been to California a lot.
Uh-huh.
I have family that lives here. Their fries are 100% absolute trash. They're the worst French fries.
I get it.
in the world.
I'll go for that.
The
You
worst.
can hate the fries.
Yeah, the burger is not good. Today we went, and I opened my heart, and I said I'm willing, and I asked Suze and Bradford and Jonathan, what should I order? And I ordered it. Suze and Bradford were like, you want double animal style. I ordered it double animal style. No tomatoes because I don't like tomatoes on my burger. The fries, I got extra well done fries with cheese, and it was slightly better. I will not say it's the worst fast food burger, but there are so many that are better. McDonald's, if it's not like just old.
No.
McDonald's,
No.
if it's halfway
Wait,
fresh, is
no.
better.
Wait, hang on. Why'd you get the fries with cheese?
Because Suze said, "Do you like cheese on your fries?" I said, "Yeah," and he goes, "Get that."
He said the fries were terrible. I'm like, we gotta
The fries are real bad. Yeah,
Brian just likes.
I get
to
that they're
instigate.
fresh.
Brian
but
doesn't really. He just likes the
No,
reaction.
I know. I'm getting. This
I'm
is so
telling you
far
for real.
away from the truth
I
that
don't
I
think
think
it's good.
It's not a real opinion.
I don't think it's
It's
good.
manufactured.
I don't get it. I don't understand.
I know.
I do not understand.
I get that you don't get the hype,
I don't
but
get
you
the hype.
cannot say that it's worse than McDonald's.
You've had Whataburger. And
Have you
think
had a
that that's-
Big Mac? The Big Mac is
I had
delicious.
a Big Mac actually for
It's
the first
delicious.
time in a very long time. I
Yeah.
had a Big Mac last week, and I thought, man, this is a lot better than I remember.
Right?
But then I
It's-
had In-N-Out, and I was like, nah, it doesn't. Not even close. Not even
better.
in the
It's
same
better.
league. No.
So we did take some footage of me going back to In-N-Out to try and to see if I could if it'll elevate, and it did a little. It did a little.
Are we gonna roll VT?
Roll VT.
Yep, I'm rolling. What do we got here?
This is it. This is the double animal style as instructed. I ordered it as they told me to. I'm gonna see if it can redeem In-N-Out for me.
Talk to me about what you're tasting right now.
I'll say it's better
Yeah, my previous experiences at In-N-Out, it's better.
Interesting.
Well, that doesn't surprise me because you got like just like a single with like no sauce on it.
So it's gone up a few notches. I will no longer say that it's the worst
Man, that was
fast
easy.
food burger.
That took 43 seconds.
It's not in my top. It's not. It's still not the burger that I would choose.
Okay.
What's better?
Well, the best
Carl's Jr. or
Carl's
In-N-Out?
Jr. That would
What's
be
that across the street?
I'm enjoying this. I'll say that. I mean, it's not even a bad cheeseburger. It's pretty good.
You bring up a solid point in
Yeah, I
this
mean-
thing, for sure.
Five Guys is still the best. It's undefeated. But it's also like 10 times the price.
I'm also interested in the fries. So
Okay,
we went with the
fries.
cheese fries.
I got the cheese fries. So the
Well done.
fries, they're definitely the worst fast food fries.
But did you get well done this time, right?
I'm well done. Yeah. Even with cheese,
Not feeling it.
they're still
Okay.
bad.
We tried, guys. We tried.
Oh yeah.
You know, I might have to join the YouTube trend of like quitting YouTube. I'm so distraught at this right now. There's like this whole, you know, like let's all the platforms. This is bad for my mental health, not the platform. Yeah, this is hurting me.
I can see the comments.
I don't know how to approach this because
how can
it's-
we
it's
trust his taste and tone? If
Yeah.
if his taste in burgers is like, yeah.
it's yeah. I don't even know how to like. I don't know how to debate this.
I love making. I love to grill burgers,
Yeah.
and I make my own cheeseburgers, and I don't think I never get a better cheeseburger from a restaurant than what I make at home.
Right.
So
Okay. Well, you know, we're gonna leave the logo what it is for now, until we find some common ground. But so in fact, make it bigger, please. And can we?
It's pretty tense in the room
Yeah,
right now.
I don't know.
It's
I don't know
tense.
how to approach this. So
I'm
we're just gonna have to.
I'm
move,
quite comfortable.
We're just gonna have to move on because I don't think there's. I think we're at an impasse. It's just so not the worst burger. It's not a joke.
I told you.
It's-
I told you. I've
Okay.
come around after today's experience. It's not the worst,
Okay, tell us. Okay, okay. We did.
but it's not the best.
Special
I'll say
NAMM episode. We'll just pretend. We got to put this aside if we're gonna have a relationship after this because I'm that upset. No. Okay, we were at NAMM today. Great stuff. Big stuff. You were here early during the week. You saw the new Helix 2. Please tell us about it.
Yeah, it's gonna.
They actually told us they're on Helix 4. So that's all I can say.
All the entrances that went upstairs were barricaded off
Yeah,
at,
the
at
whole-
Line 6 HQ.
You couldn't go into any
You could
offices
not go
at all.
upstairs.
That's where they're doing
I think
it.
that's where the secrets are.
Well, they had mentioned they were like, we were told like 5 days beforehand that it was open to the public, and they said just so we don't have to worry about cleaning stuff up and making sure, because any company has secret stuff they're working on.
Right.
So they were just like, just don't let anybody go upstairs. We'll just play it safe.
Right.
But yeah, so we
Okay. Question.
we felt the
before-
presence while we were in there. There
Right.
was something mightier
Right.
in that space.
There was like the spirit of
I can-
component modeling.
I can say the feeling I get from what they said. So Bradford and I were there. We interviewed.
Yeah, this isn't our interview that's going to go
We
on a channel
interviewed
anyways.
Ben, Adrian, and Eric Klein. They're basically the two
He makes good
together.
underwear, right?
Together, those two are in charge of the hardware and the modeling. What did you say?
He makes good underwear.
Eric Klein. Yes.
Yeah.
Cal. Yes. I'm with you. Back to the Future. Calvin Klein. All right.
Hang on. You two have completely stopped speaking into microphones. No one's even attempting to speak into a microphone.
Well, you know, we don't have enough microphones.
I know, but neither of you, and there's one on the table.
There are three
We've
microphones. There's a
completely
microphone
quit.
in here. There's
Okay,
one in
well,
each of them. Good luck, Addison.
Fine. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, you're here. You're here too.
Addison's here.
Okay,
We won't edit this
so-
out. Go ahead.
So Bradford and I interviewed Ben and Eric, and it became very clear to us based on the non-answers that they gave us when we asked about the future of
Right.
Line 6 and modeling,
Right.
that one, they're extremely patient and they're playing a very long game there. And two, they are not at all interested in doing their version of what other companies have already done.
Right.
So
Okay, here's what I want to know from the What's a title we can give you guys? The
Our title is Worship Tutorials.
there you go. From the biggest,
It's what we go by.
right, from maybe two of the biggest Helix content preset producers.
We like it.
Yeah, the sellingest.
We just passed 500,000 downloads of Helix patches.
Incredible.
Wow.
Incredible. Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know there were that people that had bad taste in tone. No, I'm kidding.
We're not friends.
That was a
no,
joke.
you're
That was
right.
a complete joke.
You're right.
I'm gonna-
H.
That was
I'm gonna-
a joke.
I'm gonna dip your
That was a
microphone in your
joke.
crappy coffee.
You know, honestly, that was nothing compared to what
My,
you
how
said
far
about.
we've come.
Yeah. From what you've said today about In-N-Out Burger, that was nothing. If we, no, but
Look
I
what
want to
you
know.
did, Brian.
I want to know from you
Why couldn't
two.
you just say In-N-Out's good?
Listen, I want to know from you two. Next unit, Helix 2.
Yeah.
What do you want to see as like guys who are really into that unit, who have seen the evolution, the new cabs, the new delays, the new everything? What do you want to see in the Helix 2? Like, what's a must-have that you think if they're gonna have a next-gen product, or what do you think is? What would you like to see?
I haven't really thought about that because, I mean, it's like they're not really missing anything. I mean, it's just like if you don't like the unit, I don't know. I just haven't really thought like they keep adding types of things, more drives, but like I don't really feel like there's anything glaring.
But like touchscreen, Bluetooth capability to like maybe edit on a pad.
Yeah,
or
I
something,
mean,
you know what
sure,
Like,
that'd be great. But
Sure.
I'm not one who I like having all my stuff together before I play because I got enough to worry
Yeah.
about. Especially with the idea of like, there's the possibility I could be told we're changing keys. That's one thing that doesn't always happen, at least I think.
Mhm.
And like secular gigs,
Yeah.
playing radio hits,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
typically just play the way things go, right? But you show up at church and like, hey, we're changing this key, and like, so I'd rather have one less thing to worry about. So I don't care about that. But
Yeah.
there's nothing that I felt the Helix is like missing that's huge to me. Sure,
Sure.
I guess touchscreen would be cool, but
Yeah.
like, I don't really care
Yeah.
personally. I love the thing.
I really love since I own a lot of amps now. I'm just chasing after you, H. I really enjoy playing devices that let me play through my amps. So like to be able to capture the amp, play through that amp. That's
Yeah.
fun.
It is fun, man.
Yeah, and so I have a lot of amps that aren't in any of the modelers.
Yeah.
And even if you do have an amp that's in the modeler, you might have it from a year that is special.
Yeah, or a speaker's different or some
Yeah,
variation.
yeah.
Sure.
So the ability to capture an amp and play through it would be cool. We actually asked them about that.
Yeah.
You'll have to go subscribe to Worship Tutorials to see what they said.
All right. I'll take the plug.
Yeah.
I got to be honest. I would like to see. That's like maybe my number one thing I'd like to see is some sort of a capture tech.
Yeah.
And maybe people say, "Oh, that's selfish." Of course, he is one. I'm into it. Also, I really like the Quad Cortex app.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's pretty cool to be able to go on your phone and like follow a group, like follow a page, and like the whole feed idea of like, okay, now I want to see what they release or put out. Because a lot of it is like a big part of what we do is just try to get YouTube or Facebook or Instagram to show people who have said they're interested in our stuff that we put something out. And I would love it if I could get on one of these platforms and it would show people that I put something out. You know what I mean?
It'd be like it's just like a notification. I think that's one thing that like Neural said is like they want to try to make it like social networking, social media in a way.
Yeah.
So it's like, you post something and you're like, oh, sick, Worship Tutorials released a new patch. I'm going to check that out. Like maybe it'd cause more people to purchase. I mean, that would be cool if Line 6
Well,
did
not
something
from
like that,
Neural
too.
because, okay.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, currently their booth. Are we talking about NAMM yet? Their booth is pretty baller.
Yeah.
Their booth is just
Soon.
nothing.
I know. What's that
It
about?
Except-
just says soon.
Which is, if you're familiar, that's how they market when they do new plugins.
Okay, but can I tell you a rumor? So you're right. They use that word soon.
Yeah, they do that.
So go ahead.
Well, I was just saying, like, I know they're working on something.
Something.
And they're trying, I mean, that's a pretty big move. It's different. It better not just be a plugin. That's a
So-
lot of money to spend.
So let me tell you what I heard.
It's really true.
This is the rumor I heard today. We were walking out of NAMM. Addison, were you with me when this happened? When that Duke? Okay. So I saw that and I thought, oh, maybe Neural's doing this thing like today it says soon. Tomorrow when we go back, it'll say something else or something will be added. And then it'll become the talk like what's happening on the last day of NAMM. That would be a great strategy,
That
right?
would be smart.
To get a lot of buzz. And so, but then I started looking at it and I started going, soon? I started thinking, okay, well, with the software, they just put it on Instagram. Like they've released a bunch of plugins and they just put soon on Instagram and you see sooner. They put the outline, you kind of start guessing what it is. This feels like a different thing, like what is soon, right? Like, so then I go, okay, they're not releasing a plugin. I don't think they're going to release, we know that the Quad Cortex, we're still waiting on the editor to get out of beta and a store. So I don't think they're announcing that. That would be kind of a weird thing to announce something that you're already making. You've already said you're making, it's in development.
They wouldn't make that big of a deal about it.
Exactly.
Right.
So then I start thinking, well, what are they doing? Are they maybe hardware? So then I'm standing next to the Tonex booth and I go, I bet they could put out something small. Like, see, one of the great things about the Quad Cortex is they really hit this great size that like makes it so you could fit it on a pedal board and it's not ridiculous to put other things around it, but it's also big enough that you can kind of use it, right? As an all-in-one. And I don't think they're going to do 2 touch screens and double the DSP. So I was like, maybe they're going to do something small. But then I'm walking out of NAMM and someone says that there's a rumor going around NAMM that they had a post on social of them building the booth and it said, see you guys at NAMM, and there's stuff in the booth. There's a rumor going around that they wanted to change the booth and NAMM said, no, you can't do that, or they wanted to do something. So they said, screw it, we're out. We're leaving. And they've just walked out of the show.
Yeah, but that's okay.
I don't know.
But it doesn't just say soon like in letters. It's like
It's giant,
it's
right?
Like
so where
6 feet tall,
Yes.
3-dimensional.
So where'd they
letters
get
say
that?
Soon with the Neural logo on
Right,
the
they
end.
had to.
This
they had
isn't
to
like
plan for that.
spur of the moment. We're
Yes.
out of here. Put up the giant things.
I
that
know.
we
Okay,
didn't
good
plan on
point.
using.
Good point. Maybe that was. Do you think maybe that was part of the thing here? I'm checking on Insta right now to see did they put anything.
I
up
don't. It would be
yesterday?
really interesting. The Quad Cortex is like when I first saw it in person, it was way smaller than I thought it would be, and I feel like that's like their biggest one, right? That's their full size one, and it's still a lot smaller than the rest of them.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be really interesting to see how small their small version would be. You know what I mean?
Dude, they have a post that says, "We are currently setting up at the NAMM show. We cannot wait to see you this weekend." But is there anyone from Neural there? It's just big letters.
I know, but
What does that mean?
well, yeah, but
They had to put the letters there.
yeah, someone had to put the letters there.
And there,
Yes, guys, union labor puts the letters there. Like, I mean,
Well,
somebody put
Yeah,
it
but they
like,
still have to be here.
and I thought you said that there was a post about them actually putting out pedals and putting out tables and all that stuff, but that's not.
just
Right,
a,
right,
that's just
right,
a
right.
NAMM
Just a
picture
picture.
of the NAMM
Yeah.
show sign.
It's a pretty bold move. I like it.
I like it.
Yeah, it's interesting. And one of the letters has their logo like on it. Was it just tacked on it? Like, did somebody just go like
Yeah.
glue a logo on there,
Yeah,
or
they
was it
planted
like
No,
ahead,
because
yeah.
but it's like it like goes outside the lines of the letter though. Like it's meant to be there.
yeah,
That thing was designed on purpose.
Yeah.
it was
I
supposed
don't-
to be there.
I don't think that was a last minute.
No, it's not like they
Reaction.
cut it out of a vinyl.
No, of course
thing
they
that
like made that.
happened to have.
Yeah, they made that to be there. But what is soon?
I don't know.
I think it's hardware. I'm going to speculate. I'm just going to say this. I think it's hardware.
Hardware
I
would
think
be
it
a
does less than the big unit, like it does amps or it does.
I
what?
can't see a reason why they would think we need even more power out of our unit. Like, it's not lagging behind other stuff.
no.
You know what I'm saying?
No, and in
I mean, I
fact,
could
it's,
name a unit that's lagging behind other stuff, but I won't. Okay. I didn't say anything. If we
I could name one too.
I know the Towmaster Pro.
I could name two of them. I could name two of them.
There's a lot.
If we I mean, if we were speculating, I would say, yeah, I'm guessing
I feel like
it's gotta be
I
hardware.
feel like the chances are slim that it's new hardware, but I like the dream of it.
What do you think it could be?
I don't, but I don't think it's hardware, but I also don't. I like your point about like they're not going to make this big of a deal about stuff they already said they're.
Yeah,
they're
they release plugins all the time. It's like
Right,
it's a
but
lot now.
even
Like every 2 months they're releasing a plugin.
The first thing I thought was plugin support on the Quad Cortex. That's like one of the big things that people have been asking for. But they've said,
but you
they've
can't-
already said that they're going to do it.
No shade.
Yeah.
They can't put up a sign that says soon for something they've been promising
That's
for
what I'm
3.5
saying.
years. It's highly ironic.
That's what I'm. But
it's not that.
No, but I
They're
feel
not going
like
to bring it. I hope they would see they shouldn't bring
Right.
it. Yeah, weeks, not months. Weeks,
Right.
not months. Weeks, not
Right.
months.
Yeah. But I feel like that's so it's like they're not going to make this big of a deal about something they already said that they were going to do.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like new hardware is a stretch. But I don't know. I'm not confident in either.
How old is the Quad Cortex hardware? When did they release it?
I don't think it replaces it or anything.
It was
Right, right.
It
It's-
was brand new at 2020 NAMM. Yeah.
So it's-
2020, it wasn't even out though. It wasn't in production.
2020 NAMM. It was like
They
they only had
announced
one.
2020 had a very stripped down version
Yes.
that could
Yes.
barely do anything.
That's
Yeah,
right.
yes.
That's right.
Yeah.
It was
And
like
we all
don't.
played
You're
it.
not
Yeah,
allowed.
Doug was showing it to
Doug was
everybody.
out there messing with it because if you could like mess it up and
Mm-hmm.
it wouldn't sound like.
Yeah, I think
anything.
you were talking about like I think you did a video where you were like it's very intentional. Like Doug was doing things because if it would look like the
Well, yeah,
capabilities
he told
were
me.
limited.
He told
because,
He told me later he knew how it could break. Like he knew how to break it, so he like knew what not to touch. So it's like, so he didn't want other people dialing in the stuff. It was like, let me show you the delay, But
That's the mark of a true software guy.
yeah,
he
He's a
knows
smart
exactly
dude.
what he can and
he's a
can't do.
really smart guy.
Yeah.
he's a really smart guy. What? Yeah, I mean, what else would they be doing?
I don't know. It's a bold move though. I'm just mad that they didn't. They have all that empty space. They could have put something to sit on.
They could have put couches.
They
or
could have put a
something.
couch on there. I'm just saying, it's a long time to walk around.
Yeah,
My feet were hurting. And they had all that empty space. Could have put a chair.
I mean, we could find out. There's people at the show who would know. There's some.
Well, hopefully.
So do you think tomorrow it's going to be something different?
I don't know. I think that would be a
Yeah.
cool marketing
That would be
strategy.
cool.
If
That'd
they
be
hired
smart.
me, that would
I
have been
was
my
just gonna say
suggestion.
they didn't hire you to
No.
do it though. I don't.
No, every night it would be changing, and everyone would be excited about something on the last day of NAMM, which is
Right.
when no one's excited about anything.
Someone's going to do that next year after they watch this podcast.
They should do
That's
that.
a good idea.
That's free advice. All right. We did see some new stuff. Anything people are excited about from NAMM? We saw some stuff today. We'll do some other videos talking about a bunch of stuff, but you guys were pretty enthused about some new products. Fair?
Yeah, so we went to we came in early, a day early, and we went to an event at Yamaha and Line 6. 2 days early. Gosh, feels like we've been here for 2 weeks already. It's only Thursday, right? Thursday. Yeah, so Yamaha released new guitars, which it's the Yamaha Pacifica. When you say the word Yamaha Pacifica, what do you guys think?
I lived in Pacifica, California. That's what I think of.
Yeah.
Also, the minivan that nobody drives. What's that one? The Chrysler Pacifica?
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
one.
Oh gosh.
That's
yeah.
what we have. Thanks.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh wait, what was the one? What was the one that's like the one with the nose that went straight down? That's what I thought that was. That was an Astro.
We get a lot of compliments on our.
That was an
minivan. It's a
app.
nice.
I was
minivan.
thinking-
They are
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
They are nice.
I was thinking Ford.
Way to walk
Astro
it back,
when you
John.
said it.
Yeah.
Way.
They're very
Way to
nice.
go.
Yeah,
Very
it's
nice.
not
Yeah.
the worst in the market. There's worse burgers than that minivan. So
What do you think? What do you think when you hear Yamaha Pacifica guitar?
not quality.
Right. Yeah, well, you think
Cheap.
budget, cheap. Yeah. So they released two new ones, and one is an import from Indonesia. Is that where it's made? Yeah. It's at like the $1,200 or $1,300 price point, and then one is a high spec made in Japan. Because Yamaha is based in Japan, and that custom shop level one is awesome. It's
Wait, what? How
$2,200.
much is a custom shop? Where was that? Is it in the booth
$2,200
right now?
So it's confusing when you go to the booth. They're both there, and you cannot tell them apart by looking at them, which is an interesting move, right? So they've got the import and the custom.
Were
and
we
the
playing
custom
the
line.
imports?
I don't know now.
So the import has plus on it.
Well, they have on the back, the headstock has a tag that'll
Yeah.
tell you that it's Indonesian.
On the back, if it says "Made in Japan," that's the high end.
The
one.
Indonesian one doesn't have like any stamp really. Of
Yeah.
anything, so
Oh, maybe that's why some of them felt so different.
Yeah.
So then I did at one point play the Japanese
The
one.
Japanese
because I looked
one
on the back. It
feels
also
way
had
better.
It also had some
Yeah.
like Japanese writing on the back.
Yep.
Yeah, and they're good. Rupert Neve Designs
Designs.
did the pickups, and I think they sound pretty good.
Right.
And it to me it feels really good. So
The wiring
cool.
apparently is pretty legit. You were saying too.
yeah, I think Neve was involved in all of the electronics. So when you split the humbucker, it doesn't get thin, it doesn't drop volume, that kind of thing. It's good. It's a great guitar.
Well, yeah.
What did you think of it? You played it.
I gotta be honest. I played a bunch of them, and I picked up a Rev Star, and I was like, I kind of would go this
The
way.
Rev Star's cool.
I mean, it was cool. Look, I mean, I heard it through an HX Stomp. I went up there,
they
and
need real amps up there.
this is not to throw shade at them. Look, I went up there, and these stupid Bluetooth headphones weren't working.
Right.
I went and
right.
asked the guy
That
for
hap-
help.
that
He
happened.
couldn't get
It
it
literally
working.
took 4 people to get it.
It did.
working.
He ended up
Yeah.
taking apart another rig to put this one back together. Then finally, he's like, "Well, I have signal." Hands me back the thing. It's on 6 delays. No amp. 6 delays. I go, okay, man, I'll do it. So I was playing through some stock presets on the.
Stop.
Yeah, and I just try to do, and there's no editor there, so I'm on the thing. Meh.
Yeah.
It was a very meh experience. Maybe they could put the Bluetooth headphones away. And I could get and then they were dead, and I had to get the wired headphones off another thing. I had to do all this. We had to take the headphones off other stuff, But there was a nice grand piano in the corner.
There was, and a dude playing the
and
trumpet
they had a
when you
full
walked
concert going on and
Prince-
stuff.
Prince's purple grand piano was out front.
Was out there.
That matches your hair.
It's a whole
That's
vibe.
why he did the hair.
Yeah.
For
It was for
Prince.
Prince. It was for Prince. We heard it was happening. No, I did just release another Purple Plexi. It was a 74.
Is that different than? That's a different Purple Plexi than your first Purple Plexi.
Yeah, my other one's a 68, and this is a 74, and it's not an original box, so I'm cheating a little bit. It's a 74 JMP50, but someone rehoused it in a purple box. So it's purple,
It's purple,
and it's a vintage. I dig it, and
His
there's
profiles sound really good. By
they
the way.
they sound really good, and I realize I can be a bit of a I get into a lot of the internet hype, late 60s, and they changed the circuit halfway through 69 giggity, and then like different. It's not as desirable, and you really want the pre 69 one, and I got to be honest, the 74 sounds way better. Like not a little bit better, kind of way better.
So the 74 sounds better than your original Purple Plexi.
And
I
so
agree,
it makes
yes.
me go,
Wow.
hey, I like what they did. It's different. And it's different. And so that now I'm like, I gotta go I want to go do them really do an A/B test. You know what I mean? But what the vintage, what the tube snobs on the gear page are telling me
What-
should be better, maybe isn't all the time.
What cabs do you play them through? Do
So
they each have their own cab that you got with them?
They do both have purple
Okay.
cabs. The cabs are quite a bit different. So
That's a huge deal.
Yeah, I did this through, but I did them through a third cab that's not
Oh, they're-
matching to any of
Okay,
them.
so they're
Yeah,
standard.
because I didn't want those differences to be there. Yeah. So it's good.
I too played the Yamaha Pacifica. It was.
Yeah, I
I thought it was okay.
Yeah,
Honestly,
I'm.
for 1,200. Look,
I had a
you played
really
the import one then.
well. We don't. Here's the thing. I was having a really strong opinion. Like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
This is like, and now I've got to go. I want to go back and really make sure I pick up just the one. At one point, I did see on the back because I took note, and it's just so weird. It's the only one I looked at the back of the headstock because until you said one says Japan, I thought I saw that. I looked at the back, but I didn't place in my head this was this color or this whatever.
Yeah.
Because I looked and I went, oh, that's funny. They put like writing on the back and like it almost seemed burned in, like embossed. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But now I'm like, I don't even know what guitar I really formed my opinion on. I played 4 of them and I was just like, what is? So I'll go back. But
yeah, they need.
but come on, what is that? What are they doing?
They need an amp that's not like one of those little Yamaha practice amps. or like a stomp that has a stock preset
Yeah,
on it.
yeah.
They need something besides that. And I played through those Bluetooth headphones, and it was terrible because they cut
Really
out,
bad.
all the time.
Yeah, that was us going
That
like,
was
this is not
bad.
the best way to
It was
showcase
bad.
these
They needed to
guitars.
plug it into like an old a Fender or a
Yeah.
something.
And so the one with the plus is on the wall. There are 5 guitars on the wall. They're all together, and plus means Japan, and the other
Plus-
ones are.
No,
It's professional, right?
yeah, the one that says plus on it is the import. The one that says professional.
I think it's standard plus.
Who's
Yeah.
coming
Standard
up with
plus.
this stuff?
Thank you,
This is the
Nick.
most confusing
Standard
thing ever.
plus.
Yeah.
Standard plus is well, if you look at the naming of any of Yamaha's guitars, it doesn't make any sense, to me.
I
Yeah.
don't get it.
Standard plus is
don't
the
get it.
import model, and then import Indonesian model, and then the professional is the made in Japan.
Duh,
higher end
because
model.
professionals pay $2,200
That's
for a
right.
guitar.
Right.
That's how you know.
I don't know. Either way, I thought it was all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
If it was a $1,200 one, then it was like, yeah, it's just all right. If it was the high end one, then that's even worse. So
I mean, it's almost as egregious as the comments about burgers that we started with.
I was going to say
Almost.
there's something about that, but I don't have the energy for that. It's almost 9:30 p.m.
Oh no.
PM.
How about anything else new you guys see today?
I played Rock and Roll Relics.
That place is cool.
Mhm.
Rock and roll. Relics.
Those guitars are very interesting.
Yeah, they are.
Are they good?
They played
Yeah.
phenomenally.
Played good?
The look is out there,
Yeah.
like the colors and stuff. And the guy was like, "We're known for our finishes," and I was like, "I mean, they're pretty."
Do they still
They're
have
wild.
they had one that I always loved. It was like a 335 style, but lightning bolt.
Yeah,
They've got it.
Yeah.
Yes, that is very
I'm
cool.
gonna play that tomorrow.
The one,
You should.
that they had there was like kind of like a grayish black, kind of charcoal,
That's
whatever,
cool.
with like the Atari symbol on it,
Oh, that's cool.
with lightning bolts and Filtertrons, TV Jones.
Oh,
And I was like, they play very well. And then like,
and they're $1 million. That's
They
the
are
only-
expensive.
That's the only problem with them.
yeah, and they're very eclectic. Like I don't normally have strong opinions on like a guitar is a guitar. So if you want to use it in church, no big deal.
Would you play it in church?
But like, I don't know if I'd play some of these. I'd feel like this is just too rock and roll.
Yeah.
Like, this is not for me.
You would
Side
not play it
note-
in church.
No, but like one of them is like a Les Paul body mixed with like a Firebird offset. And that's actually, I think that's about exactly how
That
he
was the
described
cool
it.
one. Yeah.
That was like
very
the one. I think that was like the one. The way he described it too is like three
That's
different.
very weird.
Yeah.
So, but it had some humbuckers, which I didn't.
Like,
ask
did
him
it
about.
work though? Was that cool, or was it just
It looked pretty cool.
weird?
Yeah, I liked it, but it played really well, which is kind of all I care about, and it sounded
Yeah.
great. I mean, it was plugged in through a Hughes and Kettner, and like, I mean, I have never air fresheners went off. That's what that is.
Oh, is there
That's
rats in
kinda
the
freaky.
ceiling? What the heck is happening?
The Hughes and Kettner sounded freaking
That thing was
awesome.
cool.
Yeah, it was, and like,
Was
I
it
mean,
Triumph.
No, it was called a deluxe something.
was it Okay.
Deluxe? Yeah. It was
Tube Meister
small.
Deluxe,
It was
maybe?
a small thing.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
I mean, it was still.
I know about
size
Hughes
of
and
I guess
Kettner.
compared to the enormous thing head it was sitting on top of.
Yeah. Yeah, but the guitar played very well.
Yeah.
Like very, very well. So I was super into that. And then Novo had some cool stuff with Revolta too. So I'm all about that. And I didn't get to visit many pedal places today, so I need to do that tomorrow.
Have you guys ever played a Rev Generator 120? Like
Yeah.
their top. Have you ever played one?
The amps.
Do you like it?
I played it in the Helix. So
Well, have you played a real one?
what's the difference?
Nothing at all.
So good, then it's so good, right?
Wait, tell me there's a difference.
Do you want to have a debate whether an amp is better than a Helix? You should play the amp, John. The HW.
Guitar enemies.
Guitar
So they've got
Guitar enemies.
This is the 10th anniversary of the Generator 120. So they built
That has been out for 10
I-
years.
it
I'm
has.
shocked by that. Actually,
I guess that's only 2014, right?
right. So they've got
okay.
a 10th
no,
generation.
that's still mind blowing.
They got a 10th generation Generator 120, and they changed the circuit. And I'd never played one, so I want to play one of these things because it's cool. And that thing is awesome.
Is it?
If you go buy a Rev and play the 10th anniversary Generator 120 and just crank it and have fun, it's cool.
I don't think this is going to be up before NAMM is over. So,
Oh, it will be.
when?
It's going up right now.
Can we talk about that?
Streaming live. What?
What?
What? We talk about what?
Oh, the 10th generation Rev
Yeah.
thing?
Well, you said go play it, and I was like, you talking to the people watching? You're talking.
No,
to
I
the
was
dude at the
talking to
table?
HW.
I'm gonna
okay.
go play it tomorrow.
For all of our viewers.
You
No one's
guys
watching this,
go
Bradford.
play it
Nobody watches
tomorrow.
this. Nobody-
Well, they
most
will.
of-
They will now because
listen,
we're in it.
Listen, the only people who watch this are pretty much at this table right now. It's Edison and Brian. Those are the only two people listening to this.
And our moms. My mom watches a lot. So
Nothing I'm in.
But Rev just
sad.
released a new amp called the D40.
Yeah.
They've got some cool stuff.
And
Their
they have a
amps sound
big one.
great.
They have a new 3-channel out this show.
The G50.
G50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you again, Nick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coming in
So
clutch
they've
with
got
those
their amps sound
facts.
really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do they also have like those are the ones that had like the direct
Yeah, they've got
solution,
the
right?
2 notes thing. It's basically a 2 notes torpedo.
Okay.
Right.
Capture
Built into
X built into them. Yeah.
Okay. On the spot. On the spot. You can only play one modeler for the rest of your life. Choose one modeler and why. Suze, go ahead. You go first.
Kemper.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the most comfortable on it. I know what I'm gonna get, and I know I'm gonna love what I'm gonna get.
Mm-hmm.
I think capture tech beats modeling every time. Every time.
Very diplomatic, Suze. I like the
Um,
answer.
Yeah, and so that rules out a lot of units. And yeah, I would say recently I've come into the Axe Effects fractal world,
Yes.
and I'm super impressed.
Yeah.
So it would be between those two. And today I'd go Kemper.
Yeah. And you're kind of including the axe tone matching in that
Yes,
in that advantage
equation.
over
yes,
not
because
having
it's
it.
so
because
dead on.
we've been
Yeah.
really impressed with that.
Yes, and the
been
effects
really
really
impressed
are
with it.
great, and
Yeah.
the editor is superior and all that
Yes.
stuff. So yeah, I mean it's
Right.
But yeah, today, I mean honestly, the FM9 we were commenting on just how beautiful that.
Dude,
thing
I got to
is.
be honest. So the FM3 and the FM9 next to each other, the FM9 is beautiful. I don't know, something about the
It's
size. The
engineered so
FM3
well.
is it's like the same components, but the size of it just looks it's fine. But the 9 is really
Can't picture it.
it's
That
nice.
even that next to a stage, maybe I'm changing my answer. That next to a stage is like the FM9.
The
It feels
FM9
like
is really
so
good
like
looking.
solid. Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know. I'm still going Kemper, but give me a couple more.
I like the answer. I'm going to say very diplomatic because your reasons for the Kemper were, you know it the best, blah, blah, blah. That's what I was saying was diplomatic.
Mm-hmm.
Bradford?
In what world?
Just choose one.
In what world would I be told if you play any other friggin' modeler but the one you decide in this moment, you will die? In what world am I being faced with such intense, what's the word? Ultimatums
That's the word.
that I would have to make this call? There's room at the cross for you. There's room for
Foot of the
everything.
cross.
Depending on my mood, depending on what I had for
Just
dinner
one
last
model.
night.
Welcome
No,
home.
No,
Model.
I don't. This. What? Why is this a question?
This isn't real.
I know exactly. So why are we spending time on not real things?
Would you like-
This is like
this is all I'm gonna say. It doesn't
These
have
are
to be-
middle-aged men
Would you like me
playing
to go
Dungeons
next?
and
No.
Dragons, but with guitar modelers.
Because my
Okay,
answer,
listen.
my
I'm
answer
gonna put-
came,
wait, don't tell-
my
don't
answer
tell
came
me yet.
fast.
Don't
and-
tell me yet.
Yes.
It's not. You're not. Which is the best? Which would you choose and why? And
Right.
like
no, that's even
Susan's
worse.
answer-
That's
no, no,
even
no.
worse.
No, no.
Because that doesn't exist.
Okay, but like Susan's answer is like, I just know this one the best. So even though like he had a lot of nice things to say about the axe, which we've been very impressed with, and which if anyone said axe, I'd say I get it. And if somebody said, dude, the axe editor is way better than the Kemper, I'd go, yep. And if someone said, the quad core, like if someone's axe best editor in class, for sure, best editor out there. But if someone said QC best editor, I'd go, all right. I can see how you might think that. That's a fine opinion. So like maybe it's just I work at my desk the most, so I choose this. You know, it's not really any, you know what I'm saying?
I choose whichever one I played last.
Which is
What'd you play last?
FM9.
all
It's actually the one I used live last.
All right.
It's
all right.
friggin' awesome.
I'm putting you down for FM9.
But this is fake. And
the official-
This
the
is
official-
whose line is it anyway, where the points aren't real and everything's made up.
You're avoiding this question so hard that it's suspicious.
Yeah, very suspicious. What do you know? Isn't it interesting? There's actually one company we never even talk about going to shows like this, and we don't,
Boss?
No, Fractal.
Oh, Fractal.
No one's even like, how come they? You know what I mean? Like,
Come
are they
over to
showing-
worship tutorials. We talk
yeah.
about them a lot.
No, I mean at the show.
At the
Oh,
NAMM
at
show.
At the
NAMM
NAMM show.
Oh,
Like
they're
no one's
never here.
No, they wouldn't
Yeah,
be. That's what I'm
yeah,
saying.
they
It's like
don't-
they
they
just
don't
they
do
don't.
this.
They're not even.
You can't even buy it in a store.
No, it's like another class of like we don't even. Not only are we direct to consumer, and so we're not going to go to the
You
show.
got to get on the forum, find the post about what's coming next. Say I want on the mailing list, and then email some. Yeah,
Hey, are we doing a most disappointing piece of gear at NAMM? Is that
We
later?
we can do that.
Okay.
But okay,
Come back later.
Brian. If you one modeler can only play one modeler.
my answer is AxFX 3 with an FC12 controller.
Okay, the big guy.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
whole thing.
The full guy.
Does the 12 give you more than the FM9 does in terms of buttons?
3 more buttons.
Okay.
FM9 is 9 buttons.
Oh, it says it in the title.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's why
I
it's
know,
in the
that's
title.
terrible. What's the screen like? Is the screen like the FM9 screen?
No.
On the controller, on the 12?
The controller just only will show you. Well, you get the scribble strips above each.
That's how you get the extra buttons, right?
Yeah,
There's
that's
no
where the extra
real
buttons
estate.
are. Where the screen
Can
is.
you do any editing on
No,
the 12?
you can't edit.
You have to
from-
go over to where the 3
You
is.
have to be on the
Okay.
unit. Yeah.
It's like a remote for the camera, just controlling.
It's,
the-
yeah.
Okay, so it's very limited at your feet, but the
Yes.
the 3 is nearby.
correct. Yeah. So I would choose it because I think it sounds the best of all the things,
Yeah.
except for maybe Tonex. And
See, you're out getting after him for his game.
I'm a fan of the Tonex, dude. I had nothing bad to say
Yeah.
about Tonex.
I think the effects in it are so far above everything else. It's not
The axe you're talking
Yeah.
about. Yeah.
And it's the one I've also used it live. It's the thing I've used live for the last 3+ years. It's almost the only thing I've used live for the past 3 years.
Have you used the FM9 live?
Yeah.
Okay, and you're saying like you can hear a difference between.
You can't hear a difference.
Okay.
They sound the same.
But you like and that's mostly because of the
But the
FC12.
Firmware.
Yeah, it depends on the firmware, but
they
I like
typically
the
do
buttons.
Axe and FM9
yeah.
together now, right? It's FM3 that kind of gets told to wait.
FM9,
sometimes FM9
FM9 and 3 both lag behind, but FM9 seems to get updates more often than 3. Yeah. But AxFX 3 gets them first. It's because Cliff does the AxFX 3 updates, and then he has a team of other people that port it to the other units. So he sort of does it on the AxFX 3, and then the other ones play catch up. And
It's so weird.
it's also the only thing that I've never been able to think, except for one thing. I've never been able to hear something and not be able to recreate it with the effects on that unit. Anything that I've ever wanted to make sound, I've been able to do it on XFX 3, and no other unit really I could say that about. The only thing that it can't do is some of the stuff that the Eventide H90 does.
Sure,
but I've
sure.
been able to get pretty close. For example, Bradford uses his signature move, in my opinion, the Chase Bliss. What's that thing called? The Gravitas, the ramping tremolo, up and down, and
We know because Kemper's had that feature for about 11 years. That's how we know.
but does it go up and then down and then up and then down?
And you can
Does it oscillate? Can
Decide
you-
what speed you can took any parameter.
But do you have
up
to push
any.
a button to make it go up and then again to go down and then?
Oh, the Gravitas has just an up and
It just goes up. And so in the AxFX 3, you can attach any parameter of anything to one of 2 LFOs, and you can adjust the LFO to make it do whatever you want.
Yeah.
So you can set tremolo speed to LFO 1, and it just goes up.
yeah.
We
The
felt
Boss MS3 can do that.
Does it? That's
The
cool.
little thing I have it can do that. Yeah,
That's awesome.
the little controller.
The little tiny
Yeah,
guy.
yeah. It can do that.
Oh yeah, a lot sometimes MIDI.
Yeah,
is
because
it has
MIDI.
all-
It's a
an
MIDI
alpha,
thing.
yeah.
It has
Yeah.
like all the boss effects in it.
So
It's like a sleeper
And
pedal. It's
the-
awesome.
It is really
Yeah.
great, actually.
It
It's
actually
a really
is
good pedal.
I'm-
It's crazy how
It totally
what
is.
that unit, what that little thing does,
I
and it's
know.
totally slept on.
I'm gonna say it too. Fractal has the best reverbs in the game.
Okay.
So, I love
Frac. So
Fractal
the
stuff.
the big
And
guy for all those reasons.
And the tone
12.
matching is on point. Like I can essentially play through my amps with the Axe FX3, and there's never a phase issue. So.
The dreaded phase issue. Yeah.
One modeler.
You asking me?
I'm asking you.
I have the most experience with the Kemper. I also have never tried to get a sound out of the Kemper that I couldn't. You know.
I guess you can just, if you really want, you can choose a neural DSP plugin.
So
that's if you're
so what I was
playing
going to say.
pianos lately.
So I didn't choose the Kemper though. I'm actually most excited about the Quad
The
Cortex.
camper chose you.
Yeah,
Is that what you're saying?
I'm actually more excited about Quad Cortex stuff right now.
Yeah.
And like I'm into more like high gain stuff, less like washy effecty stuff, and I don't know. They just have it going on right now. I think it sounds pretty good, and it's got capture tech, so
Yeah.
yeah, and it's small. Like you can just bring that thing. That's it. That's all you need,
Yeah.
and it's got a big screen on it. I
Sure.
like that touch screen.
It's got a nice touchscreen.
Yep.
It does have a very nice touchscreen.
And eventually they'll run the plugins, which is what I use mostly.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. When they port the plugins over, that's going to be really,
It's gonna be
really
game-
fun and
game
interesting.
changer.
How
yeah.
it's going to be interesting if you can use those with the rest of the stuff already built in, like how it'll integrate.
Yeah.
Because kind of one of the,
I know it almost seems like it would be like one mode or the other.
Yeah.
You know?
Can I tell you, I think if they put the plugins on the Quad Cortex and then you can use all the other effects, I think it'll make it worse.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because part of those plugins, there's already plugins that do everything, and what's great about those plugins is it references an artist, so you have a really clear expectation. Like it's Mateus, and it's the one matchless channel. It's the Marshall. So you already like know what you're going for, and then the effects feel like his rig. It feels like you're playing his rig, and like in that one, there's just the octave button. So there's not like a full octave. It's like you can't adjust all the octave, but then there's more control on the stuff. It's like it feels like a really nice curated collection that just seems to work. And I feel like if you gave me the ability to do everything else, I would just like screw it up.
But
And
I also feel like if there was a way that they could like explode all of those individual things and make them all their own component, right? Because that's what a lot of people do. Like you can turn off the amp section and the cabinet section and just have the effects section on of a plugin.
Sure. So
and then feed one plugin into another, right?
A bunch of
so you
instances
can
of
do that. It's totally fine. So bring that to the Quad Cortex. You can just drag, the Petrucci compressor pedal and then the Rabia delay pedal. You know what I mean? Like you can do it. I think that would be cool too. The hard part with the plugins though is like the licensing and how you buy them and how you it's so weird, because you gotta have like an iLock account. So it's like
right.
Yeah, but
they have to fix that.
Shoot themselves in the foot if they port these over to the Quad Cortex and says anyone can use these. Are you saying like you still
No, you're
have
still
to
going to need to
that.
buy them.
You're gonna have to buy it, but like, how do you like log into iLock?
How do you
on
let
the
them
Quad-
know I've already
on the
purchased
You
Quad
won't need
Cortex?
to because your unit is already connected to a neural DSP account,
Oh, I
which
guess
is the
that's
same
true.
account you use
you
to
would
buy the
use to
plugins.
purchase
I guess that's
Now,
true.
what's going to happen is there's going to be some people go, I use a different account to buy my plug. I don't know what they're going to do, but if they know, if you have, the
but
plugins on
also
your account-
like on the iLock you can only have so many logins or whatever.
right.
So you can't.
It's interesting.
We'll find out soon.
Soon.
HW, your turn.
Wait.
Oh,
Can
yeah,
we
what
make
do you pick?
Can we make a stipulation? What would you pick besides the Kemper?
Oh, sure, I'll do that. But first,
Yeah.
let me. I mean,
It
it
would
would be
be-
disingenuous for me to say anything. Look, I mean, if the question is, what would you play? I'll tell you the one. I mean, I take the Kemper out of my house all the time. Right? It lives in a like go bag, and now with the player, because it's so small, I feel like I have to put something next to it. So it's been fun. I've been playing the Chroma console with it, so that's fun. And I keep building boards, because that's like my thing now. You can't use it by itself now,
Do you actually build them though? Do you just like plan to build
No, I just
them?
build them in Pedal Planner on my phone,
There you
and
go.
then hopefully one day I'll build one.
I just look at pictures of what I could do.
Listen,
Yeah.
what do you think? I'm going to practice the guitar and get better? No, I'm going to look at pedals on the
here's-
internet.
here's
There
the
we
thing.
go.
What do you
Damn.
You've got to
2024.
assume
What do you-
that your
you think
customer
this
base your customers are going to use Kemper players, and so they need to have demos from Tone Junkie about how does this sound with pedals on a
Yeah.
board.
How's
So you
this
have to have a
go?
demo board or 3 with Kemper
Yeah.
players on it.
You got to have some boards. Yeah.
That you
for
use
sure.
it's,
For sure.
Totally.
It's
Yeah.
business expense.
Yeah, we got a couple players, and they're great so far.
board has like. Does your board right now have the player on it or the Tonex?
It has the Tonex, but it's the player is just
You could
itching
swap
to
it
get
out.
on there.
Mhm.
Yeah, a little swapperoo.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
should do some demos.
And you have
with that.
Yeah, you guys, and there's a lot of pedals at Tone Junkie
Oh, so many.
headquarters.
Yeah, and there's and they'll when you'll be able to upgrade the player with other things, I'll be even happier.
The
You know?
morph.
Morphing, the new the newer verbs and newer delays, and then it looks like the stuff they're showing. So they actually have some new effects on the Kempers right now. They're not really announcing it, but it's just sitting on the Kempers in the booth, or it's sitting on the bigger heads. And so they were saying those could be some of the first DSP. See, it's interesting. The fact that DLC, sorry, it's interesting because the fact that they've like hinted at DLC now is like also incentivizing them to, well, okay, let's make even more, to like really convince people there's really something you should pay for here. There's brand new stuff, and so it's also a way they can add value to the other units, and just freely give them there, and then you know what I mean? Because they did release a pedal that probably has the capability to just be a mini version of their other ones, but it has a little less stuff on it.
Can we talk about the new effects on the Kemper stuff?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
We can. Did
The-
we or can
I want to
we?
hear your
Yeah.
other unit besides Kemper.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
So I would choose the Kemper.
'Cause it's a little too obvious.
Yeah. So the other unit, if I could only play one, I think I know. I just want to. I'm just.
Not so easy, is it?
Well, here it is. I was gonna choose one, but it would probably be QC. But
Welcome.
I could change that opinion if I play the FM9. I could see myself switching that. I could
guys-
see myself
Dang, this
taking on.
Man, Fractal's getting a lot of love from
You don't
this
know
table.
how happy this makes me.
It's great.
I've
It's great.
I've been a Fractal
Yeah.
guy for so long.
I've-
yeah.
I've never actually used one, but man, every time I ever hear it, it's always excellent.
Can I just say? I'm just gonna throw this out.
Yeah.
This I'll qualify this by saying, everybody likes what they like. The tone matching makes the difference for me. I'm just going to throw. I'm not saying without the tone matching.
That's
Do you need-
Axe 3 only, by the way.
I'm saying
it's
with
the only
this-
one that does that.
Would
It's
you
the only
use
one that
it?
does it, but you can run it.
Hold
on.
on.
You can
Would
run
you-
it on the
try
other
Hold
one.
on. Can I
So-
ask a clarifying question?
Yeah.
Would you still pick it if it didn't have tone matching?
No.
Okay.
I would also not. I'm preset with the stock amps and caps and all of my effects, and I was like, I never want to play this again. I never want to open it again.
And then you tone matched.
And then I tone matched and I just deleted the amp and cap, put the tone match in, and was like, holy cow,
Right.
that is incredible.
it's
so,
almost
yeah,
like
it was night
EQ
and day.
matters a
yeah.
lot.
Yeah,
But the tone matching.
it's almost like
You
It's
had to-
almost like EQ is the whole thing.
You had to leave the amp in though, right? The tone matching is just the
no
replaces the cab.
No, I just tone matched the amps,
yeah,
no cabinet.
but you still had to have the amp block in the patch.
No.
Yeah, of
Yes.
course.
So
There's an
yeah,
amp
the,
model.
the
Yeah, yeah,
amp
yeah.
is running the sound, but the
Yeah.
main difference.
Yeah, there's no capture
was
tech in it. It's just
Yeah, the main difference was the tone match.
The tone
block
match.
that you'd had
It
in
was
there.
night and day between. I don't ever want to play it to like it's equal to the Kemper. It shot way up. Yeah.
Yeah, even with the mic setup that I use in real life, it's not like it nails it. No, by the way, I'll put this out there. I'm not a genius with the microphones. I don't know what's going on when you say I've modeled this thing and this is what it sounds like on this speaker. And that's where I think a little bit some of that opinion that I have, I know Suze has it, is like I think a lot of the modeling stuff sounds good, I really question, though, when you look across the units, either someone has no idea what they're doing, or then someone else has no idea what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like there's such variance. And I'm just like, maybe it's the method, maybe it's one person's speaker to another. You know, that's another thing, right? Is like, you know, any of the units, like whatever your reference is what you're going to go with. And things vary a lot. Look, I just said my 74 sounds way better than my 68.
Right.
It's made 6 years. It's very little differences in the circuit. Now, who's to say that my 68 doesn't have like the plate voltage super low, and I'm listening to like a neutered amp,
Right.
you know, and it's through a speaker that like isn't great, or another cab could be different. There's all these variables. So I just go with like,
Well, plus like
it's quite a bit different. I'm saying 121.57 on a greenback 412. What they say that is, and then I do it in real life and tone. I'm like, this is a very considerable difference here.
Right.
And I'm not really quite understanding. I'm close miking, I'm doing everything. Either I'm doing something wrong, or somebody is, or it's just different. Or or it's just different.
Well, because when you're developing a model, right? I don't know the process, obviously. Like nobody knows exactly what's happening.
But you're an engineer. You're a software engineer.
Right. So it's like, but you're like listening to what's happening. Maybe you're recording it, and then you're writing some code and making some tweaks to it, and then you're playing through it. Hopefully you're like putting in like a like reamping the same signal or whatever, right? To try to get it to sound the same, and analyzing the frequencies or whatever. But it's like, it's still, I don't know, like when I'm mixing music, right? And it's like, I've got a reference track open. Like, I'm not able to get it to sound exactly like the reference track. There's so many different variables, and it's a completely different system. So you get it close enough, and then you're like, well, I've been at this for 12 hours, and I've made 1% difference. I think I'm done now. You know what I mean? And you just get close enough, and then at some point you have to move on because you need to make money. And then the models sound what they sound like at the end, right?
Yeah, and it's also like, I'm giving like Fractal a lot of love, and I mean it. But like, what is anybody doing? Line 6 has done this too. If you upgrade your sounds, and everyone says they sound a lot better, is it more accurate, less accurate? Does it just sound better?
Right.
You know, so maybe accuracy is not the thing that matters. Just what sounds
It's
good
not. It's not.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I remember...
But like, was it right before? Or is
I
it
just
right now?
remember-
Will it be more right later on?
That's the
I don't
problem.
know.
Well, it's like, I remember one time we made a comment. It's like, man, we keep profiling all these like Voxy amps. They don't sound like of an actual AC30.
Right.
They all sound more like each other than an actual AC30.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like,
I
at
would
some
agree
point,
with that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like at some point we all have this idea in our head of what it should sound like,
Yeah.
and that's what we're driving toward. But
It's like tastes like chicken.
exactly,
It's like
yes.
everything.
Well,
Yeah.
the other you guys have Tone Junkie has a sound. I've noticed this.
Yeah.
Worship, we have a sound, and okay. Here's an example. I bought your Matchless Laurel Canyon amplifier. Like
Oh yeah.
you profiled it.
Yes.
For Kemper.
The actual amp you purchased.
You purchased it, profiled it for Kemper, and then I bought it from you,
Yeah.
and you shipped it to me.
Yeah.
And it said from Nash Vegas on the box. Which
Did I put
appreciate-
that?
Yes, you did.
Sounds like something I do.
and then Bradford and I
Yeah.
captured it. Same amp, same speaker. You use a 121.
I used a different speaker when I did it.
Oh, you did a different speaker.
I did.
Okay.
I did quite. Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say, I mean, they don't sound the same.
They don't,
Same
yeah.
amp.
Brian,
They don't
you
sound
got
the
so
same.
close.
Yeah.
I mean,
I know we really, but you're
they're
right.
similar.
The principle of what you're saying is still true.
Yeah.
So it's
Oh,
like
yeah, no.
your ears
Yes.
have you dial that thing in
Yes.
for the way you like, and it's the same.
Yeah.
Basically the same recipe of,
Yeah.
of circuit
Yeah.
component speaker mics.
I use the same type of speaker, but not the
Look,
same.
I'm gonna
exact-
take
That was all I
Bradford
meant.
and
That was
I'm
all
we
I
gonna
meant.
have our ears
Yeah.
dial it in, and it sounds a little different. And when people buy something from Tone J, they're buying your sound.
For
I mean,
sure.
it's different amps, but it's your sound. It's same for
No, for sure. We
Worship
just
tutorials.
made a bunch of stuff on the axe, and hopefully it's coming out and whenever I get it up, and the head rush, and that's it. Sounds like Tone Junkie. And we were pulling open all this stuff, and even like we were like axe versus head rush, we were like going, oh my gosh, this sounds kind of the same. Like some of the reverbs are different and stuff, but it just sounds the same.
I'm going to take that principle though to like even another level. There's been more than a few times where I'm playing something I'm like, it's fine. I literally take my guitar off and hand it to Nate, and then he plays it, and I'm
way
like, that
different.
sounds amazing.
Yeah.
That happens with Bradford.
It's like,
and
what's
I.
happening? Nothing has
gear
changed.
is the
The
same.
gear is exactly the same. So it's like the what you're hearing and how you're dialing it in and all of that. There's
so
so much to it.
I'd like to hear your response to my choices, other than the Kemper. What did you think I would choose? What else would I choose?
Oh, I don't know. It was just Brian
Yeah.
asked, and I was like, I'm kind of curious too, because he said that. That's all.
Yeah.
Well, just, I mean, like, I don't know. I think even Brian and I are, for as much as we love the stuff we use, I don't think either one of us are like, even though you say you love Fractal, it's not like you don't love Fractal like he loves Kemper, I don't think.
That's true.
he does.
That's true.
I don't think so.
I'm
might.
close.
No, okay, well, let me
I'm
rephrase
close.
it. He may actually do love Fractal as much as Jonathan loves Kemper. However, he is not as obnoxious about Fractal to most people. You don't make content.
That's true.
You
I don't make the
content
the
you
volume of
should.
content. I
you don't.
know.
You
We're
don't
gonna
make
change
content that shows the
can't-
world
that's
how
gonna
much you
change.
love Fractal.
Subscribe to Worship
as much as
Tutorials.
Jonathan does about Kemper. I have to hear
true.
him tell me about how much he loves Fractal. I'm like, Brian, I know all
Right.
this. And I know why you think Fractal is awesome. I don't. Thank you.
Well, maybe if the community wasn't so toxic, he'd be able to have Fractal friends.
Oh well, that.
Well,
in
you
the-
know
in
what?
the- It's
You
true,
know,
isn't it?
We exist to make communities
Speed of the
better.
leader, speed of the team. In other
Yeah.
words, the guy who runs Fractal is.
Let's make Brian's Fractal Forum that people can come join.
Brian's Fractal Forum. I like that. Brian's Fractal Forum. A friendly place for Fractal
friendly
players.
place
Yes. Yeah, you should make this. Brian's
No, it's just
Fractal Forum.
a friendly place. Ellipsis. That's just a friendly place.
I would join.
Dude, I would join too.
All right,
I would
let's do
join.
it.
Can we aggressively kick people out for not being friendly though?
BFF. Brian's Fractal Forum.
The zero
friendly
tolerance rule. If you're not friendly, you're out.
You're
You're
out.
gone.
Hey, I just
Anything
want to
not
point out
friendly.
that we started as guitar enemies.
You know what?
with burgers, but
Change-
Fractal brought us
Change the
together.
logo.
Brought us
Fractal brought us
together.
together.
Oh my
Fractal brought us together.
gosh.
Change the logo.
The logo is
It's
back.
back to
Logo's
Guitar
back.
Friends.
Oh,
Here we go.
We're
love it.
friends.
It was back.
I love it.
We settled it.
Call it quits for the evening.
We settled this.
It's beautiful evening with everyone.
Let's get every microphone on Bradford.
Please.
Just kinda have,
Can you give us a send off? Do you know the Do you watch this? Do you ever? No.
I've been HW.
My, how far we've come.
That is about right. What was? No, I'm
boy.
good. Thank you. This has been episode 19.
Can we just be like Apple and round it to 20? Apple, like when they're so close to the next like decimal place, they just go for. They just skipped iPhone 9. They just went straight to X.
But they did. But they did 13,
true.
didn't they?
So can we just call it this? Can we just call it episode 20?
Yeah, but then what would the next episode be? Oh, all right.
I'd like to say thank you for having us.
Yeah, that
Oh,
was
you're very
awesome
welcome.
having you guys on.
Worship Tutorials. Thank
Very
you for
welcome.
having us on the Guitar Friends podcast.
You're very welcome. We can
Crossover
come
content.
down and
Please come to Birmingham and
Yeah, let's
visit.
do it.
L.A.
Birmingham.
What?
Lower Alabama.
LA, Lower Alabama. It's actually more north.
From L.A.
We could go to Lower Alabama if you'd like. I don't know if
And
I
then
want
there's
to.
Louisiana.
I don't want to.
So also LA.
Nor do I.
I don't want to.
I hear the beach is nice down there.
All right.
Yep.
I've been HW.
I've been Suze.
John too.
We better stop.
We just lost the camera. I've been Bradford.
I've been Brian.